Hi everybody, welcome to All Games New and Old. I'm David Rodriguez, and today I'm going to be unboxing Dungeons Dragons Onslaught. So this is a brand new game put out from Wizkids. It is like a cross between a dungeon crawler and an arena battler, if I'm understanding correctly. As a side note, if you hear the sound of what seems like maybe like a dog wandering around getting into a bunch of stuff she shouldn't, that could be my dog wandering around getting into a bunch of stuff she shouldn't. We just started letting her be upstairs more, and so everything is like an exploration for her right now. So I apologize if you get weird noises, but that's what my dog does. So anyway, let me turn this over. All right. It says, Dungeons Dragons Onslaught is a competitive skirmish game in which each player controls an adventuring party from one of the powerful factions of the Forgotten Realms. Parties delve into dungeons, battle rival adventurers, and confront fearsome monsters on a quest for treasure and glory. This core set includes everything 2 players need to play, including 12 characters from 2 different factions, the Harpers and the Zhentarim, a horde of monsters, and an immersive campaign that sends rival parties deep into the depths of a ruined keep to confront a mighty black dragon. So very cool. It has little capotes down here. Here's some pictures of the models, but we're just going to wait until we get into the box to really show you those. It says it takes 90 plus minutes to play, ages 14 and up, and is a 2-player game. So let's get into this. I've actually been very excited about this since I saw it, but I've also been, like, it's been kind of like a cautious optimism. I don't know exactly how this is going to play out because it's like, you know, each person has their own little team, but then there's also roaming monsters. So I think what this is going to hinge on is how the AI is for the roaming monsters, like how that works out. Because I think that will really truly make or break the game. I'm certain they probably have the combat down between players, but it's going to be what else happens. That'll make it kind of interesting. All right, so let me get the lid off here. One thing I like, and we will see this here shortly, is that it has pre-painted minis, which is kind of nice. I like that it's not yet another game where I have to wonder if I'll ever paint the minis or not, because they're painted, so I don't have to. Isn't that nice? Okay, so here we have an envelope. And I watched a little video about this game recently, so I know a few things about it. I'm not going to be able to, you know, tell you all the rules or anything like that, but let me get this open. There are some like loot tokens, I believe, that get pulled out of this. Yeah, it's just kind of a nice paper envelope. I like the sort of, you know, metallic red embossing thing on here. I will say right off, though, you couldn't make it a dice bag. You couldn't just make it a normal dice bag. Come on. That seems crazy to me, but whatever. Okay. And then it tells you that a lot of their Frameworks minis are compatible with Onslaught, which is really cool. You can give a lot of adjustability that way. There's so many miniatures that WizKids puts out that I really, really like that they give that as a possibility. And there's going to be expansion packs. They're going to have organized play. I don't care too much about organized play. Personally, I rarely get involved in that in games. It's just not my thing. I'd rather play with people that I know or just friends rather than try to do like a tournament or whatever. But hey, it's neat that it's there. And if they haven't, you know, enough models out for this, it could really be a big thing. Who knows? So that's kind of neat. All right, here is the Onslaught rulebook. Feels pretty chunky, I'm not going to lie. Oh, okay, there's a couple, so that helps a little bit. Okay. So, all right, it's not that bad. 23 pages, and these pages here are just talking about the various tokens. So let me get up to the front, kind of take a look at your components with all the cool models on them. Again, we'll look at those a little better when we get to that point. So I'm curious how many rules from D&D this actually takes, like if it is pretty similar in the combat or if they've made some changes. I think it's going to be fairly different. I don't think it's going to be like a 1-to-1 combat rules for this and the RPG. I doubt it anyway. So, all right. So nothing too crazy, I don't think. Here's a scenario guide because you can set up your boards different ways, have different monsters running around, that sort of thing. So it's just showing you how to set up the various maps. So I won't get too much into that, but there it is. Okay. Here we have a variety of tokens and the boards. Let me move the box to the side because I'm going to need a little bit of room to look at this board. Let me get this little pack of things open if I can. I'm trying to find a safe place to cut here because I don't want to mess up the components at all. Okay. Now I'm looking at this. There's all kinds of status effects like invisible, stun, dazed, slowed, rooted, weakened, etc. I wonder if they're going to come up with like a lot of those because if you're really incorporating a lot of the D&D creatures and character classes, there's a lot of possible things you could do to each other. I'll say these are things too, but it tells you on the back: reckless, wolf, taunted, enraged, magic weapon, marked, curse, stealth, inspiring. Very cool. We have some squares here that look like the various kinds of characters that come with the game. Little skulls in the back. I wonder if that's where you put when they're dead. I'm not sure. There's these really skinny little punch-outs here that are basically to form walls depending on the scenario. I have concerns about them being so narrow. I wonder how well those hold up. I hope they'll be okay, but we're going to see. All right. So here is our board. Oops. So this double-sided board, I think I'm as zoomed out as I can be, you guys, so you're going to have to bear with me here. I'm going to try to sort of scroll this along so you can kind of see more or less how it is. Looks nice. The other side, here, let me do it this way. Let's see if that works any better or not. Okay, so that's a pretty cool room. So, and then again, like I said, you can use some of those like cardboard pieces to alter the room's layout a little bit, depending on the scenario. So, okay, let's get the box back over here. Okay, so we have like a round marker thing. We have victory points for player 1 and 2, it looks like, what round you're on. Some other sort of tracker, I'm not sure what those track exactly. All right, so here we have a character who's a cleric. This is their player board. It has an area where they gain experience points here. So you kind of spin that and that'll change that number there. We have some of their abilities. So you have Cure Wounds, Pass Without Trace, Invoke Duplicity, and then up here we have, I'm guessing it's a movement, defense, and health. I could be wrong about that, but that'll, you know, adjust as you go. So that's cool. These are, they're pretty thin board here. Like it's not super impressive, but I imagine they'll still stay together. I'm not too worried about it, but just so you know, they're not incredibly chunky. So you have Barachiel, the Paladin. Not sure I'm saying that right, but whatever. We have Sedana Sparklebang, the Wizard. I love that last name. I don't know if she's supposed to be like a halfling or a gnome or something, but it sounds very much like the name that one of them would have. I love it, though. We have Abelio MacGavan, the Druid. This is another great name. Grabbleshanks, the Ranger. Drakmal Rockbiter, the Barbarian. Chloe Amaznadel, the Bard. And Lightning Dancer, who is a fighter. So I don't know if those are all the heroes or not. I wasn't really counting as I go. I mean, heroes is kind of relative because the people from the Zhentarim are not necessarily heroes in general. Here we have a similar thing, but of course for the creatures. This is a young black dragon. That's going to be the big figure in here, I'm sure. So we have the movement, the defense, health down here. Its abilities, you know, acid breath, and what other things that it can do and how it affects them. So we have, oops. Oh, I forgot. Some of these are double-sided too. So, oh yeah, so Black Dragon, you can have it grounded or flying. That's cool. I like that. So you have a young troll and a troll. Pictures aren't any different, but young Etin and an Etin. Okay, here's more hero characters. These might be the bad guys. The Zhentarim. Or Zhentarim. I don't know. However you say it. I always said Zhentarim, but I've heard other people pronounce it differently, so, you know, whatever. All right, Bedlam, the Warlock. Jivika, the Flowing Maple. I may be really saying that wrong. Oh boy, speaking of saying things wrong, here we go. Rock Pyratrix, the Clanless. That's cool. And Lasalle du Arathmier, the Rogue. I'm debating whether or not how I like this art. I mean, it's good art. I just wonder, I don't know if I like the silhouetted thing as much as I would like just like a color picture, but I don't know. Maybe that would be distracting. So I don't know. I'm not strongly for or against, I guess, at this point. So we have two different sets of D20s. We got a blue and a gold. I think one is going to be the Harpers. If you can look on here, that is the Harper symbol, I believe. I'm trying to find, yeah, the Zhentarim has this like dragon thing. So I should say that I am like probably a couple decades behind on my Forgotten Realms lore. So I know that a lot has changed throughout editions. A lot of the changes, when I've heard about them, I'm like, what are they thinking? This sounds insane to me. But you know, the Zhentarim was basically this powerful force for evil that worked out of Zhentil Keep. Zhentil Keep at some point became ruined. I don't remember exactly why. But That's kind of their shtick. They have agents everywhere, that sort of thing. I'm trying to get this to focus better. Okay, so we have some, I'm guessing maybe these are abilities. We have Taunt, Fast Movement, Horde Breaker, Lands. I'm not looking at all these. Aura of Conquest, Draconic Resilience. So these are probably based on certain characters, I'm guessing. These are some items, so that's kind of fun. Invisibility Power, South Portcullis Key. I never know how to say that. Why did I try to read that? That's ridiculous. Rune of Stealth. See, I can read that. That's fine. Okay. I'll get these out. Now, what I'm wondering, because it said that, you know, some of the other models will work for this game. What I'm wondering about that is because I doubt they're all going to come with like the character card things or boards, whatever you call them, or the monster ones. I don't think they probably do. So how do you get that stuff? How do you use that? That's what I don't really understand. Okay, so here's our initiative order thing. If I remember right, there's some way where this gets divided evenly. So you're not going to have somebody who has all like the first initiatives and then someone who has the rest. And then the monsters get these 0.5s. So you're not going to share initiative with anybody. And the monsters will go between numbers, basically. So, okay, so here's some cards for some of like the less major monsters, I believe. So you have Null, Kobold Sentry, a Mimic, another Mimic. And then here's like reference cards. So that's cool. And now, I believe, we can get into the really good stuff. Let's get into the models. I'm going to move this box aside because hopefully it'll let me focus on these a little better. These all have just several in a bag. I'm not sure if I'm going to know which models are for which group exactly, because I just don't recall. I want to say, you know what? I don't know. If I remember when I was looking at this game initially, I was sort of surprised because the Harpers had a lot of, you know, what you'd probably generally consider like the monstrous creatures in their side. So could go either way. So let's go ahead and take a look at these though and get that to focus. So yeah, as you can probably tell, like the paint job is not amazing. Like it's sort of similar to what I remember their, you know, HeroClix kind of stuff being. It's not bad by any stretch, and it's definitely good enough for, you know, table readiness. But yeah, just not, you know, not earth-shakingly amazing or anything as you might expect. But still, it's going to look nicer on the table for sure than just having some, you know, gray models. She's cool. I wonder what if she's like Arid Ganassi or what. I'm not sure. She could be a dark elf even, maybe. I'm not sure. I think they have changed, I'm not sure, changed the dark elves so that they're not the dark-skinned elves who happen to be evil. They've also changed it so that they're not all necessarily evil, by the way, too. They've kind of altered how they look at, you know, different races in D&D, which is, I think that's a really interesting topic, and I think it's an understandable one. I'd love to talk about that with somebody, because I have some thoughts that I'd love to get at, because the only thing I worry about that is that everyone is going to seem basically human, because there's not differences just inherently. Okay, this is weird. So I've got this random arm sticking out here. And is somebody missing an arm? He's got both his arms. Oh, he doesn't. He's missing. Okay. That's weird. Okay, so this guy, his arm broke off. So that's not super awesome. I'm sure I can super glue this. It's a bummer that I have to, right? But, you know, it's not something I would return them over. I think it's just something that's going to happen when they're packed in little baggies. Hopefully there's not like a bunch of them like that, but something to know about. These little like kind of tinier, spindlier ones might be prone to breaking. So I'm not going to know what all the different creatures are. I think the way they looked have changed a lot since I was playing D&D regularly enough that I'd recognize them on sight. Oh, this actually says something on the, this actually tells you on the bottom. So this is, okay, so this one is at least one of the Harpers. So that's cool. All right. I did not know that. Here it is. Looks like a, what is that? Tabaxi, maybe? I can tell that's a cat or a wolf person, to be honest with you. Pretty sure it's cat. Oh, what's the tail like? Oh, yeah, that's got to be a cat. Okay. Okay, so here we go. I'm not sure what that is. Githyanki, maybe? I'm not sure. Okay, this is for sure a dark elf. So, okay. So I'm curious how you feel about them, you know, basically having it so that, you know, entire races in D&D don't lean towards a certain alignment. I'm very curious because I think it's an interesting topic of discussion. I can understand the reason people think that they shouldn't be, and I can understand the reason people think that they should be. So it's fascinating. Here we go. Oh, this is a big guy. This must be the Etten or Eaton. I think it's Etten. Okay. Yeah, I like that it says on the bottom. I don't know if you can really see that very well. I'm trying to get it. See, it says Etten right there. That's pretty cool. Look at that big beastie guy. Jeez. That's a big honkin' miniature. I like that. Very cool. All right. Okay, let's get over to these guys. Okay, I'll get them out of the bag here. They're kind of wrapped around each other, and they got like big spiky things sticking out. These look like Nulls, if I had to guess. Oh boy, pretty cool looking. There's another one here. I wonder if this is the young one, since it doesn't have like the armor and whatnot that the other one has. Okay, let's get to this. This looks like it's a troll to me. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely a D&D troll. They're ugly beasties, aren't they? Ugh. All right. Oh, we got some weird little standy things. I'm guessing those might be for the little square punch-outs that look like the heroes, although I don't know exactly how they're used in the game. Okay, so we have the wings for the dragon are separate, which is understandable because you got to package this up somehow. Okay, I'm gonna see if this just plug right in or what. So cool. All right, let's get the dragon out. So if you played D&D, how often have you actually fought dragons? Is that like a thing that happens very much? Because, you know, they're very powerful creatures in the game. They're kind of special event kind of creatures. Like, is that something that you have done very much? Or is that just not too common at all for you in your group? I would love to know about that because it's interesting to me. I always like having them in there somewhere in my games, you know, whether or not they're the main part or not. When I've run games, like they're always at least somehow around. Even if they're not a main thing, like the players have the opportunity at least to go and deal with them. So check out that big black dragon. That is very cool. Kind of looks like, it could just be the light. Kind of looks like there's not like a lot of, like could use maybe a little dry brushing or something on the wings to make them stand out a little better, but maybe not. I might be okay. Not sure. There's the bottom if you want to see that. That's really cool. I'm going to put one of the kind of human-ish looking heroes next to it so you can kind of see the size comparison. Pretty big. That's pretty huge. So that's it. That's all the components for this game, and that's quite a lot. You know, one of the kobolds was broken, which is sort of a bummer, but oh, I'm not too shocked. I mean, unless they were gonna put him in here and like, you know, foam casing or something, like that's just something that's gonna happen sometimes. And I'm pretty sure I can super glue them. I'm just worried about, you know, how often that will break off, even if I super glue them, if I have to store them in little baggies in here. So anyway, that is what it is. I might see if someone's making like an insert for this that can keep the models a little better, but I may also not bother. Or I might just get a different kobold model because, you know, how hard is that? So anyway, that is it. That is Dungeons & Dragons Onslaught. Really excited to try this. I hope it's great. I've heard good things so far, but it's all like early impressions. So, you know, time's going to tell what I think, but I love the idea of it. I love this weird kind of like dungeon crawl arena battler. I like that you can incorporate different monsters and heroes from other models. Again, I don't know how that works with their you know, are you going to be able to get these health meter things with them? I don't know. I'm not sure how that works, but nonetheless, I'm sure that they have an answer for that. I just don't know what it is. But it should be exciting. I know they're planning expansions too, so they have little box sets with like other heroes as well. So I'm excited to check those out and see what's in there. So what about you? Are you curious about trying this? Is this something that you want to pick up or that you'd at least like to try somewhere? You know, let me know how interested you are in this kind of game. You know, are you just like a D&D purist? You're like, no, I want my Dungeons & Dragons to only be the role-playing game. don't get this stuff near me? Or are you happy to like experience, you know, those worlds in other forms of games as well? I would really love to know. It's always an interesting topic to me because I started off my hobby gaming really with Dungeons and Dragons. So big deal for me. I absolutely love it. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please like and subscribe and click the little bell icon so you can know about the next time I put out a video. Otherwise, I look forward to see you all around the table again at All Games New and Old. Bye.
Hi everyone, we now have a merch store, so help out the channel and check it out.
Yeah, all these games and the equipment and everything we do and costumes cost a lot of money. So anything you can do to help us out if you love our content would be really appreciated. We have t-shirts in tons of different colors and styles.
We have sweatshirts in a few different styles.
We have lots of stuff you can drink out of, like coffee mugs, pint glasses.
We also have coffee tumblers and water balls and a few other things.
Right. So,
the following announcement has been paid for by AGNO. Hey yo, check it out. Brand new shirt. It's not just black, it's black and white. Get one today. You can get it with or without, for everyone on the back. You want something to drink? Is it Thirsty Thursday? That's what that means, right? We got something for your morning. Check that out. We got something for your day. And you know we got something for your night. Get your drink on with that. Get a little cold outside? Check out this premium hoodie. Damn, that looks good. You want to look good? You need this hoodie. What's that? You want a little color? Don't worry. AGNO has got you covered. You don't like purple and red? Don't worry. There's plenty more. Just check the store. All these clothes, not too big, not too small, just too sweet. Don't forget, All Games New and Old is for everyone. The preceding announcement was paid for by AGNO.
So yeah, that's how you can get pretty much any Kickstarter at the All-In Pledge level for free. So when you saved all that money, make sure you go to our merch store, spend some of that saved money to help us out. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you. Bye. If you enjoyed that video, you might also like this one.
Or this one.
If you like any of our videos, what you should do is click this little button to subscribe so you'll know about the next time we put out a video.
We'll see you around the table.
Bye.
Bye.